Welcome to this episode of Behind the Desk. On today's episode, we'll be discussing various reforms that has occurred in the Nigerian civil service. But for contextualization, let's quickly look at the concept of reform and the factors that necessitated for it in the Nigerian civil service. Civil service reform referred to a purposeful change introduced to its structure, processes, and practices to enhance its performance and align it with societal needs. Similarly, civil service reform involves identifying an existing problem and attempting to solve it. This has to do with policy formulated to restructure and transform an aspect of its delivery to make it result-oriented. Civil service reforms in Nigeria have been implemented in various phases to enhance efficiency, accountability, and professionalism in the bureaucracy. Factors that led to civil service reforms. A number of factors made the various reforms in the civil service in Nigeria possible. The problems of grand corruption among civil servants was facilitated by some of these factors, which made the system lack efficiency, probity, and accountability. Some of these factors include the following: political instability and transition. Political instability and transition of power played major role in driving reforms in the Nigerian civil service. Changes in political leadership often brought new priorities and demands for reform. The need to stabilize the civil service and ensure its neutrality and effectiveness during transitions prompted the implementation of reforms aimed at strengthening the civil service institution and promoting professionalism. Poor remuneration. One of the key factors in the earliest reform done in the Nigerian civil service was low remuneration. Many civil servants faced inadequate compensation, which hindered their motivation and ability to perform their duties diligently. Reforms such as the Morgan Salary and Wages Commission 1963, the Adebo Commission 1971, and the Odoji Public Service Review Commission 1974 were efforts made by the government to address the issue by introducing salary increments and performance-based pay structure. High level of corruption. Corruption has plagued Nigerian civil service for many years. The prevalence of corrupt practices such as bribery, embezzlement, and favoritism resulted in the loss of public funds and undermined the public trust in government institutions. Various reforms have been implemented to combat corruption within the civil service, including the establishment of anti-corruption agencies, whistleblower protection law, and stricter accountability measures. Globalization. The increasing competition in the global marketplace also contributed to the reforms in the Nigerian civil service. The realization that the Nigerian civil service needed to adapt to international standards and practices became imperative. The need to attract and train skilled professionals and as well compete with other emerging economies necessitated the reform aimed at modernizing the Nigerian civil service. Structural Adjustment Program (SAP). In July 1986, under the administration of General Ibrahim Babangida, Nigeria adopted the Structural Adjustment Program prescribed by the International Monetary Fund (IMF) to help the regime access loans from Western capitalist financial institutions. One of the objectives of the Structural Adjustment Program was to reduce public expenditure and entrench fiscal prudential in the management of the economy. To achieve this, it includes in its strategy for implementation the need for staff rationalization in government ministries, parastatals, and agencies. The primary goal was to reduce staff and improve public sector service delivery by streamlining operations. As a policy measure, SAP adoption meant the rationalization of these public enterprises through privatization. Between 1988 and 1999, for instance, over 55 public institutions were privatized. This scenario led to massive sack of workers. The adoption of structural adjustment program in Nigeria worsened the unemployment problem in the country. Through staff rationalization strategy, many civil servants lost their jobs. In the next episode, we'll be looking into the post-independence reform and much more. Like this video and let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Also subscribe and ring the notification bell so that you will never miss an episode of Behind the Desk. Thank you.